Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at my corrupted Minecraft. I've made 3 corruption presets. Here we are in the first one. You can already notice that the text has graphical artifacts. And on the sun you can notice corruption on all textures as well. In this first preset I have added some noise on most of the textures to simulate this effect, while in the later ones I'm going to corrupt the textures. Here's how the inventory looks. If you're wondering, I have ported the modern creative inventory to beta 1.7. Let's check out how this village looks. The white player models are villagers with missing models. I just haven't added their models yet. Now let's move on to the second preset where the corruption gets a lot more noticeable. In the second preset I have increased the noise amount a lot, as you can clearly see. The one thing I won't corrupt is the audio. I couldn't find a good way to corrupt OGG files. When I manually edited a few to test it out, the sound was almost unbearable, so I just decided to leave the audio alone. Here the textures look pretty messed up, but this is still pretty normal compared to the final preset. I will release these presets as resource packs for beta 1.7.3 if you want to try them. You can find links down in the description. Now let's move on to the final preset. And here's the final preset. Here I have corrupted the texture files by changing a few random bytes using a text editor to get these artifacts. I have done everything manually, even the code changes coming later on, so the game is perfectly stable. I've tried using a corrupter program, but half the time the game was crashing, so I've decided to modify everything manually and the results are pretty similar. Now it is time to show you the final results where I have messed up the rendering and terrain generation as well. I've done this by adding random numbers here and there, and for the terrain I've basically added a 32-bit integer limit to some of the various noises. So we have all the different farlands generating at spawn. Let's check it out. This time I will be making a new world to showcase the terrain corruptions. And there we go, now the cloud rendering is completely messed up, the sky is changing color and time moves randomly. At first I corrupted even more things, but there was intense flashing, so I decided to tone it down a bit. Now let's wait for nighttime to show you some of the mobs. Let's check how the dimensions look, starting with the beta of the end dimension, which I have ported from beta 1.9 pre-release 3. The skybox looks awful and is hard to look at, while the obsidian pillars look like something that came from a nightmare. Now let's move on to the Sky Dimension. It should be pretty similar to the overworld as they share the same blocks. And as expected, it looks pretty much the same as the overworld, except the sky biome uses this black grass colorization. Now let's move on to the Nether. And here we have the first crash, which says the game is out of memory. I probably went too far with the numbers in the Nether terrain generator. And here's the Nether. I gave up trying to corrupt the world generator here. There will be enough of that once we get to the Farlands. All in all, the Nether looks pretty creepy. The texture corruption really got onto the Nether blocks, and the lava is blue for some reason. Here I've decided to fight a ghast, but for some reason it wouldn't get hit by a second fireball. I wonder if this is a bug in regular beta 1.7 or something caused by the corruptions I've made. And this is how a lava lake looks up close. It is completely blue. Now it is time for the Farlands. They look pretty creepy with these corruptions. I will be going to the 32-bit integer limit in every dimension. Let's start with the corner Farlands in the overworld. Here are the corner Farlands. They look pretty tame compared to the Edge Far Lands, which we will check out next. Now this is something that looks pretty messed up, especially when they render next to your face. Next we will check out the End Far Lands. The only difference to the normal End is the sky. The texture corruptions didn't really get to the End stone. From a distance it looks pretty normal. And it is white because I'm using the beta texture, which was white. This has nothing to do with the corruption. Time to move on to the Sky Dimension Farlands. With this black grass they look even worse than the overworld Farlands. The shape of the Sky Farlands is similar to that of the End, as their terrain generators are pretty much the same. Now let's see how this world looks in the normal game without any corruptions, before we completely break the game. Here's the world with the corrupted world generation. It is almost unrecognizable. Now it is time to completely ruin the rendering of the game. I won't be touching the textures this time, only messing up the rendering and world generation. And here the game is really messed up. The only thing missing is some garbled audio, but it works without it too. Everything is messed up now. The only thing that I haven't broken is the block rendering. The grey walls everywhere are supposed to be the clouds. I've made the block textures random. This isn't TNT unfortunately. It would have been nice to blow up this world. And the world generation is completely broken. All that generates are these squares and caves. I think this is supposed to be some animal, maybe a cow. Now with the game being that broken, I don't think you can even play anymore. You don't even have the GUI, so no way you can craft something. Also, I don't see any trees. On the bright side, I could have broken everything even more, but this would cause flashing, so let's not go there. Fortunately, we have this fog to protect our eyes from what's down there. Enough of that, let's move on to the End Dimension. Well, at least it lost that creepy obsidian, and there are lines in the sky that makes it a little more bearable to look at. Now let's check out the Sky Dimension. Just as I thought that it looks pretty normal, I saw this abomination. This must be a chicken, as they are the only thing that spawns here. We have nothing else going on here, so let's go to the Nether. Now this really looks like hell in Minecraft. At least we have the blue lava to remind us of the better times of just texture corruption. At least the game was playable then. Now you can't even find a tree with the broken overworld generation. Let's check out what is going on in the Farlands. And to my surprise, this doesn't look that broken. I expected a lot worse, to be honest. If we exclude the clouds rendering everywhere and the TNT texture on the dirt blocks, this looks pretty much normal. Now that I have done this manually, I may try and use the RTC corruptor everyone is using and check out the difference. At least it will be a lot faster than editing all of this manually. And that is all for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe, and I hope I will see you again next time.